I assumed you were introing. Sorry.
Yeah, I assume the same to you.
Okay.
So
well, there you go.
We'll just sit here.
Okay.
No, we wanted to talk a little bit about kind of a frame of mind thing when it comes to figuring out what numbers matter in marketing. There's a lot of numbers, especially in digital marketing. Everything's measurable. So kind of figuring out what's important to look at and when to look at those things, because they all kind of play in more at different times.
Yeah, and it's easy to say, like, there's this idea of like junk metrics, or there's another word I can't think of, but basically where like you can give these big numbers and they're so impressive, and people would say those don't matter at all. Then you can go to the other extreme and say like that's all that matters, or I guess the extreme would be like those matter the most versus the leads or enrollments mattering the most, and like really the answer is somewhere in between, right?
Yeah, I think the important thing to think is okay, the goal is enrollments,
yeah,
and there's numbers that correlate with that throughout. So it's not to get enrollments, we need to focus on impressions throughout every step of our process, our marketing funnel progression. There's not going to be one number that's kind of the silver bullet that you need to be solving throughout it. There's a lot that you need to be keeping an eye on.
Yeah, and we talk a lot about having stages in your funnel versus a one-stage funnel where you're just saying, hey, come to college, hey, become a medical assistant, whatever that is. But instead, you got to look at it, if we look at the different numbers, they're vacuuming next door. That's fine.
Cleanliness is very important here. That's good.
But if you look, just to kind of simplify it, like at the top you've got impressions, and then at the other, or one side you got impressions, one side you have enrollments. And as you go through your funnel, like if you think about it like a line graph, in the beginning, impressions are going to matter the most, because if nobody's seen your ads, there's a problem, right?
Yeah.
But if ultimately that doesn't progress and they don't get to where, you can't see my hand, to where they're enrolling, then you got a problem here.
Yeah, it's kind of how does your impressions, how do those take you to the leads you need, and how are those then taking you to your enrollment goals? From the impressions you're getting, you need X amount of leads to produce X amount of enrollments, and they all kind of have to correlate with one another. But you can't be looking at just one of them. Yes.
So a good way to look at it is, in the beginning, are you getting enough eyeballs on it, impressions? Are those impressions clicking through whatever the intent is? Are they going to the landing page? Are they, going to your Facebook Messenger, whatever you're doing? And then are those people becoming leads, and are those leads becoming enrollments? And so breaking it down like that gives you a better idea of like where is this funnel broken? Like, are we getting really bad leads? Are we not getting enough impressions? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really helpful frame of mind to have, because it's easy to get kind of caught up in the very nitty gritty stuff. You can say, well, we're not getting as many enrollments as we need because the video is just bad. Like, you need to kind of take a step back and look at your funnel as a whole. Yeah. And, maybe the impressions you're getting, kind of those ads that are intended to kind of bring in your audience and get them, be a part of your funnel. Maybe those are what's not working, and tweaking stuff there. So just kind of having that frame of mind.
Yeah. I think overall the most important thing is they're really vacuuming them there. I don't know if you can even hear that.
I think they heard us start and then turned on the vacuum.
Big thing is just to make sure that you are measuring your funnel. It's easy to kind of set stuff up and just, you got 10 million other things going on, so you just can't look at it. But taking a chance to look at it can really save you money on your on the cost per enrollment that you're having now. Identifying where the problems are, and what final thoughts did you have, or does that wrap it up?
I think that wraps it up. Would love to kind of hear what feedback you'd have on that. I know that's definitely something that everyone has a lot of thoughts on, I'm sure, in the world of higher ed. But would love to kind of hear what you guys think about that.
All right. Until next time, thank you.